so good to see you as always.
Hello, hello, and hello, Cocooners. Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Get cozy with us for another evening.
Mhm.
It's getting dark now. We're no longer in the evening light. We're descending into the darkness of
Right,
autumn.
right. I've been dark for a while over here, so
I
I'm
know,
glad you could join me,
I
Lori.
know, I know. Connecticut, I think it's an hour um more of
Mm,
darkness actually. So interesting.
yes.
Yeah.
And the twilight takes longer over there, so ours get just the whole transition happens quicker. So
It does. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I'm still amazed by it.
Mm,
Well, today, we'll do a little recap for everybody. We are exploring the Discovering Your Inner Harvest Creativity Guide.
mm,
And Sarah and I revamped it this year. So if you want to get a copy, it's 9 pages. And each page has a lot of fun autumn, seasonal creativity inspired activities for you. So we've done pages 1 and 2. So if you want to catch those and like join along and do your own, you can see the episodes. We'll have them in our IGTV series. And then if you're watching this
mm.
on YouTube, they're going to be linked in there. And today we get to do page 3.
I
You're
love that feel. Just autumn
so
encircling you.
this
Mm.
design. Yes. And it is called Your Circle of Trust. So we will be getting to this today. Um, we're
Mm.
not really sharing who we put in there because we want to keep that more,
Mm.
in its cocoon, in its own little cocoon. But I do want to talk about how it felt for you to do it, Sarah. Like, and just compare
Yes.
our experiences um, and just talk about the process of it. I think that will be really interesting.
Mm.
So,
I'm sure you can already guess how it made me feel.
oh,
Start.
well,
But yes.
I brought a couple quotes. I think that will be cool
Yes.
in regards to this.
Perfect timing
Yeah,
for our nature inspired feeling.
yeah. Let's do it. Do you want to go first
Uh,
for your nature inspired feeling today?
yes, sure. I I definitely feel like a grasshopper, but being chased.
Oh gosh.
So not like this is like more of a um yeah, like when someone is going to catch the grasshopper and it flies and then the person is like, "Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go?" And then they get a little close to it, haven't found it, and then it fly. I mean, it's not really flying, but you know what I
Yes,
mean.
it looks
It's
like they
jumping.
fly. Yeah,
Yeah, it's that
that
feeling.
feeling.
That's what
The
I'm
chase
feeling today of
grasshopper.
a chased grasshopper.
I like
I
it.
always laugh through my nature inspired feelings, but
Well, I think
yeah,
that's a cool part
that's
of it. Like, it's a
mm,
releasing, it's a deepening into the experience when you explain it that way. Can really feel the frantic jumping and yeah.
right. But the beauty within being like a grasshopper hidden in the grass and then taking flight
Yes.
and hiding, not being caught. I'm just being
You're not being
chased.
caught. Yes. And
Hmm.
I so admire how strong their legs are. I mean, like they're these skinny little things.
Powerhouses.
It's amazing.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's cool.
Mm.
Very cool. Awesome.
How about you, Lori? How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel like um dark water. Um
Ooh. and
and I was thinking of wishing wells before, I don't know, not too long ago, maybe like a couple hours ago. But um like when you look into a dark spring well and it just like you
Mm.
can feel it goes like deep down and it just keeps going into the earth and like the further down it goes, it feels like the cleaner the water. So that's
Mm.
an interesting aspect that's just coming to me right now. But I feel like I'm I kind of feel like I'm just floating in a deep well of darkness, dark water.
Aw.
I'm laughing too.
I
It's
love
been
the
one of those
laughter.
couple of days, but um
Mm.
in like a good way and um a cleansing way, which is how I feel good.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love that, like, unknown aspect. Like, if I think of dark water, it could be 6 inches deep, it could be 60 feet deep. Like, you don't know the depths of it.
Hmm.
And not being able to see the bottom, like, something about that, like, my heart actually
Oh,
started to flutter
I
because I was like, "Oh, what's down there?"
terrifying, terrifying. I
Yeah,
um
yeah.
I never liked swimming in lakes because of that. I don't mind
Mhm.
rivers because you can usually see the rocks and it's flowing. And the ocean was okay, but like there is this interesting fear of dark water. Um, but
And
that's
what's at the bottom?
yeah, yeah. So that's my nature inspired feeling today, and
Mm,
inviting you all to feel what your nature inspired feeling is, and doesn't have to be fall related. It could be any element or sound in nature, or scene, animal, flora, fauna.
mm.
It's so fun. Well, can I read some of the quotes? So I have two quotes,
Please.
and
Okay.
both have to do with relationships, which is what our circle of
Mm,
trust is about. And I'll just read the first top part of the harvest pack. So it says, "Let's harvest the connections in our life. Healthy relationships are built on trust. They are meant to be reevaluated and explored as you keep growing. Take a few breaths to quiet your mind. Think about the people in your life and write down the names of those who truly value, empower, and honor you. Who is in your
mm,
circle of trust?"
mm.
Yeah. It's interesting. We have this gratitude calendar, and 2 days in a row, it felt like these quotes were calling out to this page in a unique way, in an interesting way. So let's see. I had one of them that I wanted to read before we share, and one that I wanted to read after.
Mm,
So this quote is from yesterday, and it is
mm.
by Sharon Salzberg. And she says, "Sometimes kindness takes the form of stepping aside, letting go of our need to be right, and just
Oh,
being happy for someone." And
oh gosh.
that was nice when when you contemplate like everyone in your life and realize that not everybody
Mm,
truly values and empowers and honors you. This was like a nice way to kind of antidote that.
mm.
So it also comes with a question on the side, and it says, "What relationships might benefit from me simply being happy for another person, regardless of how I feel about their choices?"
Mm.
So I think that's a neat piece to kind of bring into this, which is cool for people who haven't done the exercise yet to have this beforehand of like, well, maybe not everyone is in there, but you can practice being happy for them no matter what choices they make in their life. So that's kind of, I'm going to do
Mm.
it as like a after effect on anyone who didn't make it in there yet. So
Mhm.
that's going to be like the first quote. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Oh my gosh, that just spoke to me so much, and definitely something I'm needing to, yeah, embody,
Yeah.
because I've been having a difficult time with that one. So thank you.
You're
And I'm
welcome.
glad I didn't miss it.
Yeah. You didn't miss it. And then there's one more at the
I'm
end.
here. Yes. Okay.
So,
Love it.
should we just share like what the process was like for doing this or
Sure.
how it went? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Tell
Yeah,
me
I'll go
how it was for
first.
you.
It was, I mean, honestly, just read, and I think that's where I got distracted. Just reading what we have as the description is its own, like, you know, like I felt like I was
Mhm.
in our quotes and thinking through everything, because it's a lot to like take in, and it's very healing. So yeah, I would say this was the first time I thought about myself with this page, and that is a shift. So having myself, trusting myself, is definitely a newer theme. So yay!
Hug
We're
yourself.
usually, yes, usually that gut instinct or that intuition, for me in my life, has been pushed aside. So to really start to hear its voice and start, like, it was one of the first things that came, hey, what about me,
Mhm.
so that was very powerful. And I'm not going to talk about specific people, but I did have the universe in there too,
Oh.
and that trusting the bigger picture and what's in store, and that there's a story, and
Hmm.
things put in our path and revolving when we kind of go off, and then, oh, we gotta cycle through this again. So that was interesting for me. And yeah, it did, and it still has me in kind of this vulnerable place of, like, really seeing, who is in that circle and who is not in that circle, and just feeling through all of that. It's definitely brought up brought up some stuff for me.
I
Um,
and that's okay.
but
I
and
think
being
that's what was
happy, yeah.
interesting about this, that it does dig up some things.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely showed me more work is to be done. Um, where I went into it like, I got this, and then I'm like, I don't have this.
There's more.
Not yet, not yet. There's
Mm.
more. Um, and yeah, I did see my little ones in there as well, so that was a nice addition. I
Mm.
feel like they're really seeing me, so that support, connection. So,
Mm.
how about you, Lori? What was your experience with this
I also
page?
had myself, and it's interesting
Ah!
because I mean, I thought of this idea last year, and I didn't have myself, when I did it
Right.
last
Me
year.
neither.
And so I thought that was interesting. There were a few repeats, like where it was like, oh, that's nice that they're still there.
Mm. Well, and it's interesting because I remember doing this with you last year, and then if we think about repeating it to see who is stayed, who's left, and people who have come in.
Right.
I really like that, yearly, annually seeing the differences.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved that. I loved kind of revisiting, and what I did that was different. And myself came up first too. It was like, oh, and it was an epiphany. It
Nice.
was like, like who'd have thunk?
I love,
Um,
I love that.
and it's so important that you trust yourself because that really involves others. Like if you don't have trust for yourself, I feel and I have experience that that's what's going to show up, in your relationships. So
Of
doing that like
course.
inside job, doing the inner work is really important. And so, yeah, I noticed a lot of women, and I noticed that my cats made it on there, and some like parental figures that aren't my parents, and including my parents too. But like, it's interesting how that piece comes into where you can find kind of like family members in your life.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was really cool. I spent a moment with each person after I wrote the name down, and I drew a symbol, like a kind of like little
Mm.
energy sketch that to go along with the feel of that person and why they're there. Like I have one good friend and I did like little flames coming out from like this way and
Mm.
under, and she feels very like fiery. And I used to kind of resist that, and now I'm like, oh, I like that about her, you know. So it was interesting to see that, you know, what it is that they bring to the circle. So that was how it went for me.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love putting this symbol, and very creative and a great way to interconnect it all.
yeah, yeah.
How we've been talking about weaving. It feels very much like weaving it all together.
Yes, I
Mm.
even brought my weaving, my
Mm.
show and share.
Ah,
I always
such a
have to
deep
bring
red.
something. Yeah, I love
I
how
like the noise of it.
I love how like just how quickly you can once you get it going.
Mm.
Anyway, but this is an interesting piece because it was my intention to keep weaving the wisdom this season and
Mhm.
to see how people weave into my life, like you were saying. Um,
Mm.
and sometimes they stay and sometimes they go, and you know, being okay with that.
Yeah.
It's a practice.
And I noticed too that when someone new weaves in, they remind me sometimes of the ones that have weaved out.
Yeah,
Little pieces of them still stick around in other people.
I totally have
So that's always
experienced that.
fun.
Yes.
Especially
Yeah.
with all my moving. So
Mhm.
it's funny to think how fast sometimes you evolve. Because I think last year I couldn't even contemplate, like, how could I put myself, like, I don't trust my gut, and what's an intuition, and what's this, and what's that. Um, so sometimes things work through quite quickly. So awareness is key. And
Well, shall I share the second quote that I got?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So this one was from Tuesday of our
Mm.
gratitude calendar. And it is by, now I don't know if I'm saying this name right. It's YAA, Yaa Gayasi. And the
Hmm.
quote is, weakness is treating someone as though they belong to you. Strength is knowing that everyone belongs to themselves.
And that kind of goes with the first one. I like that.
Yeah, it's a they went together so well. And I was like, okay. And
Mm-hmm.
how I so the little question on the side it says, how can I treat others as though they belong to themselves? So again, you know, I was thinking about how when I
Mm.
created this circle of trust and thinking about it with this quote, like, are these the people that I'm like, you're mine? You know, like
Mm.
I can get very, you know, clingy and you know, I don't know, just like protective and maybe mothering, and some of it is it's well intentioned, but you know, there's a weakness in
Mm.
it where you think they belong to you and forget that they belong to themselves first. And then we have this like beautiful coming together, you know, that we get to experience. So, yeah, being like reverent with the connection rather than you're
Mm.
mine. So, I don't know. It made me think about the circle of trust in a new way. Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm still in such this like people pleaser vibe, which I'm trying to unravel. I'm trying my best, but I'm so focused on who's not in there. How do I get them in there? Instead of like, look at this bounty that I already have. That's like they're rooting for me. The people that, let me know, do what you need to do for you. Like all those people. It's like, like breathe them in, that gratitude, that joy. Don't worry about others. They're
Yeah.
tending to themselves, which is
Yeah.
okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Doing this process this year, it was totally different. It was less of a this or that black or
Mm.
white type of thing. It was more of a how can I honor everyone inside and those who maybe they're in my life, but I don't really feel them in here. And that's okay. Like not
Mm.
making them like bad. And I think last year it was kind of hard for me to not have some judgment on people who weren't in it. So
Right, right.
it's really cool. It's like I feel like there's an evolution that can occur with this.
Mm.
I
Mhm.
love that. I love that you
Mhm.
had myself first and the universe. I think that's really good.
Mm. Yeah, feels it just like it feels very loving and reverent this year too.
Mhm.
Where last year was a bit kind of like trying to put it and it was a bit of a struggle.
A bit of a
Just
struggle. Maybe that's okay
yeah.
too. It was perfect for what
Mhm.
it was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm thinking
Yeah.
too, Sarah? Um,
Mm.
we have been redefining boundaries a lot with just talking about things in the cocoon
Mhm.
here on IG Live, but then also I know in our separate lives,
So many
we've had a lot of
boundaries.
lessons around what that can look like
Mhm.
in like a beautiful way. Because I even like resisted the word for a while because I was like, that's too, cut and dry. Like I tried that, it didn't
Mhm.
work, And so just learning how
Mhm.
to be, yeah, reverent, I think is the theme with this. So
Mm.
yeah, inviting you all to bring your compassion and appreciation
Yes.
for people in with you to your circle of trust while you feel into this because it is a really powerful process.
So I actually got a little bit more. I've been contemplating this and how, we can release energy and ourselves and empower our voice and take care of our voice. And with this circle of trust, Laurie and I were thinking of what does that sound like? So we kind of defined it with writing out, or, if there's any art involved or creativity in your circle of trust, doing it that way. But now we want to embody the voice a little bit more with this. And so, what would your circle of trust sound like? So you could give it a tone or a vowel sound like an ah or an ooh or an e, or even like a little melody, a little ditty, and like that's what my circle of trust sounds like.
Mm,
And what I'm noticing is as you practice and you land it, doing it very intuitively, then you can sing it to yourself, and like your circle of trust is there with you in that sound or that note or that tone or that melody.
mm,
So I invite you to do that. That was the first part. And the second part was like a little calling to those that are not in your circle of trust that you'd want to welcome. So really putting that kindness, that compassion out to those people again in a song or a tone or a note. And what would it sound like you calling to them like,
mm,
hey, I'm here, I'm open.
mm.
So
Yeah, it feels like an extension of that everything's okay vibe. Like when you give it a
mhm.
call, it's like you're all right, I'm all right. If you want to come, you know. Yeah. I can
Yeah.
even like my body started swaying because I was
Mhm.
feeling into my circle of trust and it has like a dancey kind of like soothing vibe. So I'm excited to feel into that more.
Mm. And mine's very motherly, like telling her child, "Come on, it's okay. It's safe here. Like it's safe." So,
Hmm.
inviting you all to try that out, see how it feels, how it sounds, and how it releases, and how you can really connect with this page through voice.
Nice. I love it. Yay! We're adding our vocal play.
As Lou and I was talking, kind of like a whale song out to your pod. That's
Hmm.
kind of been swimming,
Hmm.
calling back your pod a little bit.
Yeah.
So get fun, get creative with it, get curious, and see
Yeah.
what happens, and
Yeah.
then share with us.
Yeah. I love that. Taking inspiration from nature sounds as well. All right. So, our last thing to mention then is our upcoming free event that we're putting on, and we're going to be
Right to
sharing
you.
our gift. And it is
Mhm.
called Embodying Autumn. And it's
Mm.
on November 13th from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you can make it at that time, we invite you. We're just going to spend an hour to do something very similar to our In the Cocoon with you all. And there'll be some seasonal creativity and some vocal play, which I'm very
Vocal
excited.
play.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we've been experimenting with each other, and it's been so powerful. So I really invite you all to register for that. The link is in our bio, and it is our gift to you. So all you have to do is put your name and your email, and we'll send you the Zoom information and anything else you need to get prepared for the Zoom. And we are also playing with the idea of having it be recorded. So we're still working out the details of that, and we will give that to you in the future, in the near future. So, so that if you can't make it at that time, we'll be able to send those people who do register a link to be able to watch it.
Mm.
So we're really gonna try to put this together. It'll be our first one, so we're very excited. Our first
Mhm.
co-created seasonal event. So
Yes, embodying autumn. So come join us. Can't wait. So much
yay!
fun.
Awesome. And thank you all for watching. If
Ah,
you watched this
mm.
far, you can enjoy other episodes in our IGTV or on YouTube. We are uploading these there too. So we're just trying to call in our cocoon. Come on in,
Mm.
come on in. Join the
Should make a
cocoon
song for
community.
that too. Yeah. Oh, I think
Ah,
you're already making a song. Come
come
on
on.
in. Come
I'm doing
on
like
in.
crab hands.
Yes. Clingy crab.
And you,
Our
and
cocoon.
you, and you.
Ah, yes. See,
That's
very in tune.
hilarious.
Come
We're just
on in.
being
Come
totally
on in.
ourselves here. Come on in.
Ah.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. Thank you
Mm,
all so much. We love you with
mm,
love and
mm.
transformation.
From our cocoon to yours.
Bye.